Okay, so welcome to our month of September team call. I am really excited that we had an amazing product launch with our limited edition Shakeology pumpkin spice seasonal flavor. Hey, Amy, last week. And we do still have some left. So if you either haven't gotten yours or you have customers who may be interested and you really don't know unless you're asking them. So it is a really great opportunity for people to try Shakeology, even if they've never tried it, with a 14 pack box, which is, a lot less of a commitment sometimes is what they feel like, versus an entire monthly auto ship. So, again, don't assume just because they've told you no before, maybe they wouldn't be interested. Go ahead and make sure, let them know, we've got just a little bit left. We had this amazing launch, limited edition seasonal flavor last week, and I just found out that there's a tiny bit of inventory left before it's gone. And that gives them that sense of urgency too, right? Not just let me think about it. Before it's gone, I wanted to, see if you'd be interested in trying it. We've had amazing feedback from it. Or if you had it last year, you can give your own personal, testimony to the flavor. It was fantastic. I'm excited to get mine in. So again, don't discount that they might not be interested unless you're asking. And that goes for anything, but especially for this, remembering especially that this is a half supply, so it's not as scary for some people. So go ahead and revisit those lists, and you can keep an eye in the online office as to when it's going to go out. You'll see it probably posted in the Coach Breaking News when we finish out the supply. And then the next seasonal flavor launch, last year we just had this one, but those of you who are at Summit or who are keeping up in the breaking news already know that next year, in a few months, the next flavor that we're going to have is the peppermint mocha peppermint. Am I saying that right? That's going to be really exciting for the holiday, the Christmas winter type flavor. So that's going to be really exciting too. I'm really looking forward to that. 6 weeks of work. We're starting to talk about that. Christy has created what we're basically going to do, and I'm not going to talk about this a lot because those of you who are on this call I know are good at keeping tabs on both pages, but what we're going to be doing is we're going to be launching an exclusive coach test group. And that's really neat because what happens when you're in a test group from corporate, and I've been, fortunate to be able to do both Quarter Force and Lift, is you get in there and you do your really, you go above and beyond what you would normally do because you have this sense of accountability. When you go into these test groups, you're required to sign affidavits that say, this is my real starting weight. These are my real starting measurements. You're required to submit before pictures, and there's deadlines, not just take your pictures. It's take your pictures are due by midnight tomorrow night or you're removed from the group. That type level of seriousness. And then throughout, after the first week, after the first 15 days, whatever it is, there's homework required again. You have to create little videos that they use sometimes in their promotional stuff once the program launches or as they're building up to the program. They give you, okay, what's been your favorite thing so far? Show us your favorite move. There's little video clips that are required. There's all these different things that really just help you stay that much more focused and that much more committed to the program, which means what happens when you're 110% committed to a program, your results are going to be that much better. And a program like the work, it's surprising to me that so many people want to do it, but me and Fran were talking this morning. How many people, or even Julia, I know was a big person who did Insanity. So many people, even people who you would never think would do a program like Insanity, came to Beachbody through Insanity. And it's that is a really tough program. And you look at some people that started with 100 pounds to lose, and that was their first program. And you're now we think of it because we have so many options. Well, why didn't they start with 21 Day Fix or Sides or blah, blah, blah? But no, these people came to Beachbody. That was the option. And that's what they wanted. They wanted that level of intensity that they felt like they might die, but for whatever reason, I still don't fully understand it, they went all in on that program. And even when they had to modify, they had amazing results sticking to an intense program like that. And we're starting to realize from some of the feedback that we're getting already, from some of the information that we're putting out, that people, I know not everybody, but there's a lot of people who prefer these really high level intense workouts. So sometimes we look at something like this and we say, oh, that's not my niche. That's not my audience. But guys, don't limit it. I think that you could be really surprised. Now, what's going to happen as far as the timing with MM100 and the test group for this, we're going to start a prep. Now, if you're finishing MM100 towards the end of October, beginning of November, you don't need to worry. What we're doing with this group is I'm doing it along with Becky, Danny. We're creating it that people who are not currently doing MM100 can start a 3-week hybrid calendar that Becky's creating using some of the Asylum workouts, using some of the Shift Shop workouts, using some of the higher intensity agility test type workouts to get them ready to start the work on, I believe it's October the 8th, which is a week after it launches. So what we're going to do, again, is get them ready so that way they can start. And you don't have to do it yourself on that schedule. We will walk them through very carefully. You do need to get them enrolled and into the group. From the group, don't worry, we will take care of them even if you aren't doing it on that schedule. So you can promote this already even alongside your MM100. And what we want to do, the goal, besides having this other group of people coming in right now, listen to this, I get so excited. Because what we're doing is we're taking this initial group through as the exclusive test group, and we're going to be using testimonies from our own clients, from our, me, Becky, whoever else is doing it in this time frame. We're going to be using those testimonies because come January, yes, our big program launch is going to be bar. There's a lot of people who aren't going to want to do bar. There's a lot of people who aren't going to want to do the work. But I feel like in the month of January, there's going to be a lot of people who want to go all in on a really intense program. And when we have these initial results from our clients who went through this in October, November, and we come out of the gate blazing in January with this whole new crop, or people who finished MM100 and are ready for the next thing by that point, etc. So there's a lot of thoughts going into this, and we are doing it extremely organized. So have confidence with it, have confidence to start talking about it. You can talk about it, from the perspective of you get the opportunity to your clients, you get the opportunity to, come in on the exclusive test group for this program, because corporate's not doing one for this program. It's actually being filmed right now. So it's really exciting. Really, really looking forward to it. And Christy, again, is putting things together already as far as a landing page. It's not, for whatever reason, letting us post it in Facebook. So it is something that you'll need to send through email. So you want to collect people's emails anyways, but, just FYI. So that's enough chatter about that. I am really excited for today's call. We have Carolina Pozo, who is one of our newer Diamond coaches. And really fantastic on Instagram, and she did for us locally a live Instagram style training, and Fran went, and I know I mentioned it in the comments, but Fran was like, this was the best training ever. And Fran's obviously been to lots and lots of trainings, so I had already picked through all the stuff that she uploaded because I wasn't able to be there that day, but I myself am really looking forward to it. I know I can sometimes feel really challenged with trying to get into the flow of posting, especially to Instagram, and am I doing it right, and all these different things. So we're bringing in the expert. You are, Caro, you are. Don't make that face. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over and say thank you in advance. Let me mute myself. You're unmuted already? Awesome. Take it away, Caro.
Well, first off, thank you for hyping me up because now I'm really nervous. But hey guys, I'm Caro. I am so happy to be here. It's only been 4 or 5 months of Beachbody, and you guys, this community is awesome. So basically, the reason why I'm obsessed with Instagram is because I finally gave into it, because not only do I do Beachbody, but I work in the entertainment industry, and it's a major selling factor in getting people to see you, and you are the selling products. You know, as much as we don't want to accept it, that is Instagram for us. It is a selling platform. So I'm going to go ahead and try to figure out here, how do I share the screen? Someone tell me, how do I share it?
If you hover over the bottom part, there should be like a toolbar, and one of them will say share.
All right.
You see it?
Yeah. So hopefully that, let me know if that, is that working?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
cool. I see it perfect.
So let me just close this. You guys can hear me and everything, right? Okay. So obviously this was for the top of September. We met at the end of August, and it's just social media planning group, a monthly meetup. Obviously every month, I'm definitely going to be uploading some October things as well from a program that I use. So we're going to plan, curate, and execute our social media. So let me just move this. Who and what defines you? Now, for me, I love to break down my Instagram in 3 categories. There is me, there's passion, and there is inspire. And me, you know, I think everyone should have at least top 3 categories, and obviously there's subcategories for everything. So me, passion, inspire, feel free to copy like to a T if you want. I don't care. It's been working for me, so if it works for you, wonderful. Me is my personality, it's my family, it's life moments. Like that is what is all about me personally. My passion is my work, my hobby is my niche. You know, so a lot of passion with Beachbody, my fitness, health, lifestyle, and we have to be very creative in the way that we speak about our business. You know, this is our marketing platform. And then I have Inspire, which I have a lot of posts that have quotes and life hacks because I like to blog as well. So I'll be blogging about a lot of things. And then I also have spirituality, you know, my faith. I love my tarot cards. I love crystal hearing, saging, Palo Santo, all those good things. Like those are my fun things that I like to inspire, take a salt bath, the full moon's coming, that kind of stuff. So these are 3 categories that I would love for you guys to keep in mind. And if you're taking notes, kind of get an idea of what me, passion, and inspire is. Now, I know some of you might be asking questions along the way, so feel free to write them in, and I will look at them before we finish, but I might answer them along the way, just so you know. So we have those 3 categories. What defines you? Who are you? It's the same thing with your Beachbody story. Who am I? What is my why? Your Instagram has to have a why as well. So I break down, like I just told you, what my me is. I have this thing called Specks of Caro, and it was really because I had no idea what to caption, and I randomly would theme it out to things of nostalgia. So it would be a photo of me, a selfie of me, and I'd be like, oh, I miss this, I miss that, I love that. And it's just random rambling, but it's gotten to a point where it becomes an interactive caption, and people are like, oh my goodness, I remember this place, I remember that, I miss that. Then I would write funny things of my favorite childhood memories, and that was a Specks of Gato series. Me, husband, family. I would have pictures of my family, us together, those kind of things. Celebrations, I already spoke of this, birthdays, anniversaries. My passion, I would put, you know, group photos of the Beachbody experience, our family, Team Titanium, my acting, singing, and art posts. I had these businesses, which you can see them, Sugar Cottage, Blanche Burnett is a blog. And I really enjoy just photography, baking, DIY. And there's always ways to intertwine each passion, you know, and you just have to the point is to get very creative with your photos, and don't stress so much about matching your photos to your caption. You know, aesthetically, you want it to make sense for everyone. And the other categories is Inspire, which I spoke about. And sometimes, you know, if you pull up Instagram, you can find me at Caro Pozo, and we'll look at that in a little bit. But I have Inspire, I have quotes, and I have motivation, truth bombs, laugh out loud. You know, you don't always want to be like, guys, this is what you have to do in life. You know, you got to take a break from that too. You want to be funny. You want to, you know, oh my goodness, you know, there's so many moms out there that post the funniest things about, you know, what is sleep, or my friends that are doctors that, again, there are just so many creative ways to inspire, be relatable. You always you want it to be organic. You don't want to always be like, this is a presentation 24/7. You want it to be natural. And then personal development, personal development. There are books, I like to post images of books. I like to post my aspirational cards that I pull every day that have quotes. So it's a photo, and I'll, curate it so you can see an example here of a photo that I have an Eblon shell, and I have crystals, and then I have a quote within the photo. And again, just these are how I break down my me, my passion, and my inspire, the 3 categories. Let's capture the moment. I basically already talked about this, ways to create the photo. And, there's selfies, there's, maybe you put a different version of a selfie by taking photos, maybe on a Polaroid, and you put it on a table and you take a photo of that. One thing that we all have to get used to is capturing the moment. And I don't want you to be on your phones and on your cameras 24/7, but when you guys go out, you're hanging out with your friends, snap a few shots, forget about them, and carry on with your day. You're at a cafe, you're outside, you see a beautiful flower, take the photos, get in the habit of taking photos 24/7, even though I say not to be on your phone all the time. To get a habit of taking your photos, putting your phone away, and the next thing you know, you're building up a whole bunch of photos and content that you can post 2 months from now. You don't have to stress about repeating photos because you get new followers every single day, and there's nothing wrong with repeating photos and creating your grid. Don't ever stress about repeating things. You just got to put it in a creative way. And again, passion, behind the scenes, process photos, product. This is obviously my example of what my passion photos might look like. Landscape and activity, because I love photography, before and afters. When you guys post your fitness journey and you show before and afters, people love that. People also love it when they're not perfect photos and you're showing, just struggling, especially on stories. I always post my double chins, my huffing and puffing when I'm dying during leg cardio or doing any kind of weights, because yes, you want to show them that you can work out, but you also want to show them that you're real. So the way that we post on our Instagram feed, we also want to be mindful of what we post on our stories. And stories are also an opportunity not to worry about editing 24/7 or being very attuned as to what photos in what order you did, but you still want to have some kind of me, some kind of passion, some kind of inspo. Another thing that we spoke about the other day was, how often do I post? When should I post? On your stories, if you're not going to be posting every single day on your actual feed, once a day is all you need. You just need once a day. You need to post on your stories every single day, because the stories people see more often than your actual Instagram feed. So stories, if you can do that every single day, that will increase your engagement and push you up in your viewers' feed that they have. Another thing is, if you can't post every day, I would love for you to post every other day at least. The max is missing 2 days. And I can show you an example of when I missed 2 days, which was this past weekend when I had an event, and I completely, I lost it. But I made sure that I built up the majority of September and the end of August, so it didn't actually ruin my engagement. And I'll show you an example and a comparison in a little bit. So, okay, that got messed up. Your grid is what we see first. So your grid on your Instagram, if you take out your phone and you look at your personal Instagram, the first 9 photos is your grid. And this can make or break you. And I say that because people want to see some kind of aesthetically pleasing image when they go to your profile. I'm not saying that you have to have professional photos all the time, but I will tell you that the more mindful you are of your images, if they're a little dark, you can brighten them up, and I have a tutorial for you that as well on how to do that. People do show up, and people are more likely to follow you when you have some kind of curated look. Now, the way I did this here is an example of what is my grid. Here it is. This is how I would map out my 3 categories, which is their inspire, the me, and the passion. This is just an example of what I may have posted for the week. Obviously, there's only 7 days in the week. Sometimes people post 2 times a day. You can hold off on that and just post once a day if you'd like. You don't have to stress about completing the grid. This is just to kind of map it out. And for me, you know, sometimes you'll see freebie here is because maybe I didn't plan out that day the photo that I wanted, or maybe there's a moment that day that I captured that I want to talk about that isn't a common, you know, maybe it's a holiday, maybe it's a birthday, you know, something that I didn't necessarily have anything up until that moment. Is your grid set or scattered? Again, as long as you have your themes, there's always going to be some kind of continuity. So you're never going to stress about maybe I don't have this set plan that I have. Today I have an example for you. Quotes. Now, a lot of people like to put quotes. I love quotes because it's the easiest way to clean up your profile. So if you don't have a filter, if you don't have, you know, different types of photos, a quote is a way to make it just look so simple and clean. And I post a quote every 6 photos. So if you go to @Pozo, you don't have to do that right now, but eventually you can see how I always have a quote with a white background and black text. Some people like to use color. I like to just do the white background with the white text, unless it's very soft, because I know Martha has a light pink with black text, and it's very simple and not overpowering. And it just, again, cleans everything up. And then again, I talk here, freebies are a great way to give you an opportunity to post anything of the moment related to your themes or not. It's just an opportunity to post a moment of the day. Can the viewer grasp who you are? Your intro. So we might get sick of reposting our whys 24/7 over and over again, but guess what? You have new followers every single day, and it's fine. Because if you have a fun photo from your 3 categories and you talk about your story in the caption, it doesn't matter because you have a beautiful photo to share, and then you have your story, and new followers are going to get a piece of who you are. Sometimes an extra tool is our highlights. Some of you don't use your highlights at all, which is kind of shocking because it's like Pinterest. You have all these beautiful tutorials and you get to find them right away and get a piece of what this page is all about. So I have body, I have engagement, I have acting, mind, and mind is a little bit of my inspirational feels. Laugh out loud. I do these things called Caro rants. I complain about like random things, but really it's just a comedy hour because I'm bored and I drive 24/7 in my car. So that's my laugh out loud. Cheers. My cheers is my family moments, anniversaries, birthdays, just celebrations, accolades, anything you can think of. Love is my family, my fiance, anyone, my close girlfriends, Beachbody friends. Like those are my love of people. And it's a great way if a new follower finds you, they look at your grid, they like what they see. Oh, you have highlights. Let's see you in action. This is your reality TV show channel. They click on it and they get to know you a little bit. Another thing too is your intro bio, excuse me. You know, Carolina Pozo, actor, singer, you know, and this is how I also, because my personal page is also a way for me to market my businesses, so I have to do that. So I have the Sugar Cottage, Blunt Brunette, Manifesting on the Daily. You can put hashtags in your bio. Did you know that? You should do that. So I had put hashtag actor, hashtag CPNCP. This is like a personal hashtag. And then I put Miami blogger. And this is such a great way to find a specific hashtag that you love to be a part of. And again, when you start having high engagement, your feed shows up on someone's search engine. So it's good to have a hashtag that you want to relate to in your actual feed. All right. And this is my blog page. Icons. I even feature MM100 and Lift4 because people have actually been like, so what's this program all about? And it's been a selling factor where I can send them, here, let me send you this highlight. And they're able to see a little bit of the action of what this program's about. They go, oh my God, I can do that. Or I don't know if I can do that. And then I show them funny stories of me struggling, but still showing up every day for my workouts. And it really does help in getting customers. Create and load up on content. This is basically a recap of what we talked about. Define you, define your why, define your story socially. The same thing you do for your personal development, your empire, your business. You want to do that for your Instagram. You want to sell it in an organic way. That's why we talk about these different themes that you want to showcase. Keep these details noted in your phone. This is a great way to know what is my me photos, what is my me vibe, what is my inspire vibe, what is my passion vibe. And if you make a note of this in your notes in your phones, you're a little bit more conscious of, oh my God, this is the perfect photo for this. And you take a photo of that. This is the perfect moment for this, you know. You want to build that content like we've talked about earlier. 10% of your photos is good. What I mean by that is take a crap ton of photos because only 10% are going to be the ones that you like. It's a proven thing with any photographer. Only 10% of photos is good. Do not feel like, oh my God, all these photos suck. It's normal, okay? It's normal. Shots, portrait, landscape, crop, detail. And what I mean by that is I'll be sitting, let's say, at a coffee shop and, oh, what a beautiful coffee that is. Whip out my phone. You know, obviously we know what portrait and landscape is, but it's the same concept for the photo. I literally take a photo of this. I'll take a close-up of that. I'll take a portrait of that. Get a little detailed shot. You want variety because you never know if you're going to repeat that photo a grid or two next. You know, like you might want to have a variety of the same photo, but it's going to look different and no one's going to care. It's not going to be, what's the word? Just a lot. I can't think right now. I had too much energized today. I'm not going to lie. Okay, tools for planning. Plan 7 photos for each week and keep in mind 2 freebies. Again, you don't have to plan 7 photos if you're someone that does every other day. You just want to have an idea of what your week could be. And one thing that I put in the files section is the weekly calendar, and this is from a program called Planoly. And basically it has the Monday through Sunday, and you can write out different ways to plan. And so I'll literally spend either Sunday or Monday after my workout, because I wake up in this no snooze crew. You guys need to do it, because after No Snooze Crew, I go and I do a power hour, and it includes my planning for the week, especially on Monday, and my images that I'm going to be doing for that week coming up. Plan 5 photos for each week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. That's for anyone that only wants 5 photos for the week. I use the Planoly app. I believe it's free for 1 account. I have 2, so I have to pay an extra thing. Planoly app is basically an app that allows you to not only see what your grid is going to look like as you upload images, but it allows you to schedule and map out when you're going to do posting. Now, there is a theory that if you use a program to post for you versus organically doing it via Instagram, it messes up your engagement rank and being pushed up. I'm actually checking with one of my friends still. I'm waiting for her to confirm with me on that. If that's true, regardless, it's still a great way to look at and go, oh, I have Wednesday an image of my food because I love this MM100 recipe, and I'm gonna do, that's what I'm gonna do for the day. I have on Friday this, and that scheduled. You just at least know ahead of time what you're gonna be posting. And if you can take Sunday or Monday to plan the following week or the next few weeks, I'm telling you, it's one less thing you have to worry about. And that feeling of overwhelmed of, oh my God, I haven't posted today, goes away. It just goes away. Create a social media calendar, which is what we talked about. Tic-tac-toe post-it. That basically what that was is like, if you don't want to use any of these tools, you can get 9 post-its each week and write what you might be writing that day. And you just swap out and how you want to see the visuals. So if like you're like, I'm not a techie person, I'm not going on planoly.com or looking at the files, and I'm just going to do it hand done, you can use the tic-tac-toe post-it method. So this is what Planoly looks like on the desktop. It's also mobile friendly, but it's also desktop friendly. So if you're going to be working at your desk all day, this is what it looks like. This is from when we started the last week of August when we met up. So I had all of these already posted for the day, and you can actually see like who liked it already. You can start planning it. And when it's not officially posted, it'll just have like it has a figure of unposted. So it'll show you which ones are live, which is just the regular photos, and then it'll have a symbol showing you that it hasn't been posted yet. And you can also plan your captions. You can type them in. You can copy paste the caption with the emojis and the hashtags, and you can post it from the app to your Instagram organically. Keep up engagement. Post every day on your story. Post every day or every other day on your grid. It's like working out. When you miss a day, you're like, okay, don't feel good. Miss 2 days, now we're in trouble. It's the same thing with your stories, same thing with your engagement. It starts to go down. Create and use highlights, especially for new followers. Again, you want to use your highlights. It's such a great way for people to just get a little piece of you, since they're not going to be following you 24/7. So you really want those stories there. Use hashtags and locations on all posts, stories too. I know Jolynn talked about this, that she's always posting hashtags on her stories as well. And it really does help you get seen by people that are not following you. And it does bring in new followers, and it does bring in clients. I already have a couple people from Northern Florida, because I put Florida or Miami or South Florida. I use that a lot. And I've gotten clients that are local, and then they're like, I want to go to these meetups. These are amazing. And it's such a great way to bring in clients. Discover which are your best times to post and stick to those hours. Thank goodness that Instagram has gotten so good with actually doing all of the engagement and figuring out stuff for you. Because now on Instagram, if you all can pull out your phones, please, there is a really cool way to look at your page. A lot of you, hopefully you guys are on business account, because it gives you those details. I'm not sure if it does it now for just regular profiles, but you want to put your Instagram on a business account. It doesn't cost anything. And basically, if you go to like your home page, I'm going to show you an image of it. There's these 3 little bars. And when you click it, you can look at insights, your activity. And those are the 2 areas that we're going to be able to tell when we should be posting on our profiles. And discover which are your best times. Okay, we already talked about that. After posting, be able to comment back within the hour, like and comment within the hour of posting. What do I mean by that? If you're going to post an image or a story, you're going to want to be somewhat available within the first 45 minutes to an hour. Because when someone comments on your page, on your Instagram image or on your Instagram story, you want to comment, because it shows that you're not a robot. You don't have someone doing it for you, and you're commenting and you're liking and you're interacting with people, and it continues to boost your engagement and pushes you forward and forward and forward and forward to be seen on the most recent posts of your followers. So it's really important to kind of stick around after you post and see if anybody responds to you. You want to comment back. You want to be active. So those little things I told you about, when you go to your page on Instagram and you click that 3-bar tab there, and it has insights in your activity. This was from the last week of August when we met up, and it shows you the week before, the first or second week of the month before. And I can break it down to see, okay, 63% of women follow me, 37% of men. I can see that between 9 a.m. and 9 p.m., I've got a lot of volume, especially at 12. I've been noticing that when I post now around 12 p.m., all those extra hours between 12 and 9 p.m., those people are going to be able to see it and actively see it. So I'll post on stories all the time at any hour of the day, because I post a lot of story. But for my actual image feed, for my grid, I like to post between the hours of 12 and 9 at most. Because think about it. People are at their lunch hour. People are waiting at the school line picking up their kids. People are in traffic. So you can look at audience, and then you can click activity, and then you can see, okay, between the week of August 9th and August 15th, I had 284 profile visits. And those 284 profile visits are not your followers. Those are just random people that, because of your hashtag, because of your volume of engagement, they were able to find you. So those profile visits are then coming out of the blue. Website clicks, you have your Beachbody website possibly in your link in bio. That's, okay, I saw just for that week or so, I'm down -3. I didn't produce enough call to action for some reason. But I'm also DMing people and DMing the links anyway, so that's probably what ended up happening. And I can see here that between August 16th and August 22nd, there was a total of 2,115 profile account reaches, which is really great. But it's also, I went down in the month of August. Summer is a very slow time. So I went down impressions, which is just any interaction, story, feed, commenting, all these fun impressions. it was down a negative 3,726, and it came out to 21,312. So if you feel like, man, no one's looking at my stuff, I get zero interaction. If you're not looking at activity, how do you know? Because you're probably doing something right, and it just takes time. You have to keep working on the interactions. Don't worry about this measuring engagement, because you know what? I don't like it. Don't use it. Just don't use it. Like, we were playing with it, and I like the fact that Instagram breaks it down for you. Anyways, the amount of followers does not define your engagement. It's better to have authentic engagement than a large number and no activity. You can have 500 followers, and when you're looking at your activities and your insight on your thing, and you see a large volume of people interacting, that's great. Don't stress so much about having a certain amount of followers, because as long as it's real and authentic and happening, you're in great hands. Like you're doing it. A lot of people have 40,000 followers and they have 100 likes and 10 comments. It's not real. It's all duds. It's nothing. It's nothing. Take this time to find out where you stand. For future, see which posts do best in prime time your profile is seen. So we talked about when is that right time to post, what pictures do well. And you can see here, we have, I have a little MM100 pose here, and I have some random acting photo of me being silly. And, you know, the selfies, I will say, out of everything, images of you are going to get the most likes at the end of the day. So you got to get fun and creative on how you're going to post an image of yourself. And again, have fun, be creative with your captions. Here I talk about cameras, just to give you a pointer to if you want a special camera. You have your phone, you can do every day. It fits in your purse, your blog, you can vlog. This forced bokeh thing is basically when you put it in portrait mode, it blurs out the edges. That's what bokeh means. Limited exposure capability, but again, we can figure that out in programs that can do filters. Bluetooth, which is great, and then of course the price. At this day, phones and cameras are getting to be the same price. Mirrorless cameras are the in-between, because everyone sees the big DSLR camera. Mirrorless cameras have the opportunity to act like a DSLR, but for much less money, depending on which one you go. I'm going to post links. Basically, this is a mirrorless. It acts like a DSLR, and this thing fits in my purse. I take it with me everywhere. I can travel with it, and I take really great photos. Click, 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 real fast, and I put it down. Point and shoot, point and shoot. And it has Bluetooth, so I don't have to plug any wires in, and it goes right to my phone with an app. Very simple. DSLR, if you're someone who wants to be professional and get headshots, that's where you want to go, but it's not convenient to travel. You want something light and easy to stick between a phone and a mirrorless. Tools for your photos. Okay, Facetune, Color Story, Visco or VSCO, Adobe Lightroom. Caro Romero did a really great tutorial on how to work with presets and how they work really well. There are plenty of programs that make presets on Etsy, and also one of my friends, Danielle, dm.presets. I've tagged her a bunch of times on my page. I can put that in as well in comments below. She does really wonderful presets. But if, let's say you're like, I don't want to deal with presets, I want something easy, I want something quick. Color Story and VSCO have a ton of filters that can act just like presets, and you can find something very beautiful, and you want to use that for every photo that you do. And what's really cool too is that Color Story and VSCO can also edit your videos. So if you're someone who's posting a video on your actual feed, your Instagram feed, the cool thing is that you can match the color tone of video to the rest of your photo. So you don't feel like, oh my God, this is a dark video and all my photos are bright and sunshine. You know what I mean? You can actually add that filter to your video, and you can get a really beautiful curated page still. Splice, that's how I edit my videos, because on my blog page, I'll show some workout moves and I'll do the fast forward thing. So it just makes it really easy to edit. Really easy tools. This entire PowerPoint is in the file section, so don't stress so much if I'm going too fast. We'll talk about it again. You can always obviously comment, message me. I don't care. Talk to me. Facetune. The reason why I love Facetune so much is because I think it does the best for just getting that natural light that you need. There is a tutorial that I did on my blog when I did photos of my nephew, because it was during Hurricane Irma and the newborn photo shoots got canceled. So we did it in my bedroom. And funny enough, that was like 2 years ago. And whatever, we got the photos that we needed, and it was a great way to edit photos. Still gives that soft, cleaned up things without being overly done. Obviously, we add a little extra cozy blur there to make it, because it's, you know, newborn photos. And I'm going to show you that in a second. Tools for quotes and highlights. Okay, so we talked about highlights and how great it is to have those on there for your new followers to get a piece of who you are. Spark Posts and PicMonkey. PicMonkey is desktop friendly and app friendly. PicMonkey is also really great if you want to make flyers for your challenge groups, and just for your private groups in general to make really beautiful. You know, it's like basically, if like I were a teacher, I'd probably be on this 24/7 making this stuff for my students. So PicMonkey is really great. Spark Posts have a whole bunch of icons. Obviously, you saw me type out words on my personal, but on my blogger icon page, I did. Let's just go back. So for here, Spark Posts had all these images of a weight, of a house, of this wellness, of this beauty counter look, this heart, this health. There's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of different type of icons that you can use for your highlights. And PicMonkey has some icons, but I also like their fonts, so that's usually what I'll do for writing things out. An extra tool for your page. Linktree. It's free unless you want to like buy like a fun backdrop for your Linktree. It has that too. But Linktree is great because I can put all my favorite little things inside my bio versus one link. So I have my actor site, I have my lifestyle blog, subscribe. I had Join My Fitness Squad. You know, I don't call it Join Beachbody. I call it Join My Fitness Squad. Collagen Gold, when I, you know, show the collagen product, when people are like, what is that? Oh, girl, it's the link in bio. Hello, it's there. Get it. Energize Pre-Workout Gold. Because honestly, can you, like, there's no better name than Energize for this product. So I had to keep Energize in there. But people have clicked it, and you can actually see how many times people click it a week. So it's really cool. I just think, like, let's say you just need a boost in volume. If they're not someone that wants to join the BOD, it's a great way just to give them the link and have them buy the product. My favorite sources. So I also talked about a book called Insta Style. This book is bomb. You can get it on Amazon. I think it's like 11 bucks now. And it actually has a variety of different bloggers and their Instagram, and everything that we talked about, they have an area that breaks everything down to a T. You know, so like even if you could be the most illiterate with anything social media, and it breaks everything down, follower count, impressions, reach, profile views, it will break it down for you so you don't get confused, because even I forget some of these things. It talks about analytics, impressions, likes, everything. And my favorite part too is they give you different types of examples of profiles. And they even have a girl that talks about health and fitness. And they show you images, they show you how to edit photos, they break down, they talk about color story, VSEO, all the products that we talked about today, all the programs. They even broke down their grid and how this fitness mom breaks down her grid. And she wrote, I have at-home workout videos for one post. I always have a food fuel, partner workout, equipment shop, motivational video, personal product promo, lifestyle posts, transformation, and at the gym. And those are her 9 photos she uses every 9. So she'll always repost that formula for every grid. And there's also a lot of you guys out here love beauty as well. So maybe you want to mix a little fitness and beauty, and they have a formula for that. They have a family one. They have specifically lifestyle. So you can get really fun and creative with this book. Insta Style, I really highly recommend this book. And then remember when I talked about, this is Planoly. Planoly has printables, which I put in the actual page. And in the printables, we talked about the weekly one that you can print out. Maybe you want to do an overview of the entire month of what it might look like. And then they even have quarterly. So let's say we know about the work is coming and we know about the bar is coming. This is a great way to start planning what each quarter we're going to focus on social media wise. So it really does help you organize too of just how you're going to attack your prospective clients. So, oh no, go back. Okay, so you know how we talked about I worked with everyone in August, the last week of August. Now, I really tried to hone in these last few weeks, and I really tried to make sure that I stuck to my grid and I stuck to posting. And then this past week, I had an event, which basically consumed my life, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So if you look to the right, this is this past week, and it shows you between September 2nd and September 8th, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, I had caca engagement because I was not as active. But since I was the last few weeks on top of my things, if you look at the bottom comparison from impressions of the last week of August to this past week of September, from 21,312 to 63,769. If you stay on top of your social media, and yes, just like we get sick or we have an issue with our workouts for the day, same thing with social media. As long as you stay on top of it, you can come back from it. And I am just so happy that I stuck with my social media these last few weeks. And, I've been talking about this with Fran, and, she has her thing where she goes and she plans for her week and she writes everything down, and she has her methods that she's been working on, which I'm really excited about. And, I've been using all these extra tools and it pays off. So if you just stick to this annoying chore of planning your week ahead, I promise you, not only do you increase your following, your views, your engagement, but you also increase your potential client income. So people that were following me a little bit are now finally saying, hey, Caro, I want to join. So those are the people that I'm working with this week. And I'm hoping that as I continue to stay on top of my social media, this will improve my growth and engagement. But you can see that there's an improvement here. So that's good. I have a link to my blog page of how to do the tutorial on editing on Facetune that I can post, just because I don't want to take up too much of your time. But you'll have it all that you can figure out. I break it down step by step on how to use Facetune, on how to use everything. Did I go back to normal, right? Okay, cool. So let me look at any questions we might have. You're too cute. Love the plugin. You're fine, girl. So any questions of what I talked about? Anything you're kind of confused about? I don't know. Anybody? If you're overwhelmed, I'm so sorry. I know it's a lot. Oh, thank you, Julia. You're so kind. Where are you, Julia? Okay, Blondie over here. Blondie selfie over here. That's a great selfie, by the way. Okay, do you think it is important to do the grid as much as stories? I tend to forget a regular post and do stories all the time. I'm glad that you story all the time, Jolene, but if you could try to post at least every other day, I promise you, because you already made 14 success points, you probably have 30 at this point. Post all the time. Post all the time, because some people are responding to a story that it's about to reach 24 hours and now they're looking at my story, when maybe you were talking about pumpkin spice, or maybe you were talking about just the work or anything that, hey, flash sale, it ends tonight, and they're watching it tomorrow. So it's definitely something that you can post about it within your feed. Obviously, we want to be careful about mentioning certain products or certain names, but it's really good to be posting at least every other day. Think of it like working out. So if you think about it like working out, you don't want to go too long, because you saw those 3 days that I didn't post last week. I mean, went from 14K to 700. Come on. What's wrong with me, Caro? Practice what you preach. But I didn't. Okay? Because it sucks. It sucks when you drop it. Thank you so much, Monica. So cute. Anything else?
Nothing. Okay, good. So like everything, guys, I keep saying everything is like a recipe lately, right? Our power hours, our social media, our own workouts, our personal development. You know, if you're making this awesome recipe and you leave out one of the ingredients, what was going to be your nice, warm, chewy chocolate chip cookie is now going to be a lump of unedible something or another if you leave out the flour, right? So even though there are a lot of pieces, you need to make sure and that you're doing each of the pieces. Because if you're not, if you always skip leg day and you're doing body beast, you're gonna look like, what's that guy, Johnny Bravo, right? And that's not, you know, the way that you want to create your overall success. Same thing, I was just talking to Fran this morning. You guys, and I know the faces that I'm looking at right now, you guys are all very consistent in everything, but in case you're catching, sorry, are you still there? Oh, did it throw me out? You're on. I'm on. Let me find us. Sorry, I got a call. But focus through the banging and the. What was I talking about?
The recipe and like when you.
Johnny Bravo recipes. Oh, that I was talking to Fran this morning. The videos that we are doing, right, with the Energize and the pre-workout, they're now the dog barking. They are so much fun, and you guys have figured out how to use Triller, and you've figured out how to use these different apps and put the cool effects and do all these things. And sometimes, not the faces that I'm looking at, but sometimes people will tell me, well, I don't have time to do all my whole power hour and do the invites. But then I see that they're doing really awesome videos every day, and it's almost like, well, how much time are you spending on, you know, doing that? Is it that you don't have time to do the other stuff, or it's just not as fun? Because just because it's not fun, that's the piece that's moving your business forward, right? People can watch you dance and have fun, but if you're not inviting them to join you, they're just going to watch you dance and have fun by yourself. You know what I mean? So, you know, all of these pieces are important, and we have to be really, you know, and the business activity tracker does a great job of making sure, are you posting to your stories? Are you posting to your social media? Are you inviting? Are you following up? Are you doing all these pieces? And this was, you know, I know that social media and Instagram, especially if you're not used to it, can seem like, where do I start? So this was an amazing, amazing training, Caro. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing. You know, I know there was something even new that I didn't know today, that I was like, oh, I didn't know you could put hashtags in your bio. I never thought of that. That was a great, you know, a great tip for me. So, you know, wherever you can find these bits and pieces to implement right away and work into that daily routine, you know. And again, I know it used to be post to social media 3 to 4 times per day, and that was like, whoa. And thankfully we're not at that level anymore, but we are, you know, you need to get in your stories on a regular basis. Luckily you don't have to think about those, it's just, here I am. And you also have the once per day, or I like, you know, I'm not as quick so far. I'm working on it on Instagram, posting in my feed. But for me, five per week. I feel I could do that. I can do 5, and you can do it. You know, so start, just, you know, work your way up to consistently getting to these levels in all your different areas. But make sure you're pulling in all the pieces to the recipe. Yeah, Caro, go ahead.
So I had commented in the comments, #TagifyMe.me. My friend that works in social media, she's like, let's go. She's going to show you some trendy, I think you can type in different themes and you can go ahead and see which hashtags work for your niche. You can also see what are trending. Again, since some of you are considering 5 times a week, which still works great, just make sure you look at your insights as to when you should post. And the first jump of growth of, this is when I'm the most active at this hour, and then several hours after that, post at that hour so you have all that volume chance to have your stuff seen. So if you're going to post less on your feed, make sure you post at the right time with your insights. That's all I'm going to say.
And Caro said it too already, but I'll reiterate it. And one thing that I have been really vigilant about lately is when I post, especially in that first 15 minutes, anybody that's commenting, you want to respond immediately, because that really helps them, show your thing. So if you, I try to be very conscious about posting when I know I can respond for the next 15 minutes. And so that way I don't post and hop in the car and then I don't want to look at my social media for an hour while I'm driving. I do it at a time, like even if I have to save it, I create it, I save it as a draft, and I wait till I sit down to eat. And then I hit, post, and while I'm eating, I'm watching, like, is anybody commenting? And ask in your captions and stuff, try and ask questions, ask for feedback, ask for comment. Don't say leave me a comment, but have conversation that's going to encourage comments on your post, because those comments really go a long way. Yeah. Any other questions? This was awesome. Thank you so much. Training is fantastic. Okay, so we do have this recorded, dog barking, phones ringing, and hammering and all, and we will post it as soon as it's up, so that way you can make sure your teammates get in on this awesome training. Thank you guys all for hopping on. I know sometimes noon can be tricky, but thank you all, and we will see you. Remember, if you missed that call last night on storytelling, it's another great piece into the actual content that you're posting with your feed. So really fantastic to double whammy your training and your professional skills this week on listening to both of those. So have a great day, everyone. Thank you, Caro.